Talking with Bronson Pinchot. He said he wants questions tossed at him from the audience.
I mean, if they have any, maybe they don't. Maybe they just want to clap for loneliness. Yes! Yes! Heartbreak! Yes!
People
Do you
are
still
amazing.
do that? Do you still do that? Do you still do this? Do you still clap like that?
I do that sometimes. But
well, how did that start?
that started because I used to keep my cards under my arm. I would come out and go
Oh!
Hello.
You see, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And I bet all the people that imitate that don't know where it came from.
No, and now I don't do it anymore because my boobs, as you get older, have dropped. So I can... so there's nothing... I gave myself a pedicure last night. I went 12 toes. I'm glad you liked it.
That's funny. What, did you try that on them? They didn't like it?
I just did it.
That is funny.
Do you ever do a line and you just say, why haven't they laughed at that?
All the time. All the time.
You ad-lib a lot on your show.
No, I don't. Not on camera. I ad-lib in rehearsals. And then, you know, the producers who have also written it come down and they look and they say yes, no, maybe, and I beg for some things, and sometimes I even deliberately, because I know they're gonna take away 3 things, right? So I put in like 5 things, and 2 of them aren't even funny, and I mean, they know this, but then they'll like take away 2, and I'll say, oh, don't take any more, and then I'm like left with the 3 I wanted. We do this, but no, we don't ad-lib on camera. They would really kill us.
Were you surprised at the success of the show? It started slowly, didn't it?
No, it didn't. We started out in the top 10 because we came after...
out in the top 10?
Yeah, but we came out of a hit show. It's not hard, you know, Chicken Soup and everything after Roseanne. It's not hard to be... But we were after...
Chicken Soup after Roseanne?
Remember?
Yes, but I didn't realize after Roseanne.
Yeah, but they got very high ratings. I mean, the show was canceled, but they initially got high ratings because they were after this monster hit. And so we were after Who's the Boss? We debuted at number 7 or something. No, what in that particular case, I wasn't all that surprised because the crew can always be a big indicator, I've learned. And the crew on the show, they just thought it was funny from the beginning, and they liked the characters, you know, all those things that are important. Yeah. It wasn't just like, yeah, it's funny, goodbye. It was like they liked it, and we knew people giggled, and they liked the characters. So, and I knew we had a good time. So I'm not going to let you get this sentence out.
No. I want somebody wants to ask you a question.
Oh, what is it?
Question.
Yes, I was wondering, where did you get the name of your character?
Oh, Balky?
Balky. Where did you get it?
My sister made it up to torture my brother when we were kids. Did you know this already?
No, that's why I asked.
Oh, that's interesting. We were on a trip to the... No, it's funny because I've told the story a couple of times, but never on a show. I just in print. But we were...
Well, he doesn't look like a reader.
You know who he really looks like? He looks like Jelly Bean. Did people tell you that?
That what?
That record producer, Jelly Bean?
Just say
He was Madonna's boyfriend. He was Madonna's boyfriend. There's a picture of him in People magazine, which I was just reading with my eyes falling asleep. Anyway, tell me when we're off the air.
We're not. Go ahead.
We were on a trip to the mountains when we were kids, and we were going to get a new dog, and everybody kept coming up with ideas for what the dog was going to be named. And my big brother kept coming up with names from, like, King Arthur, because he liked that. And I kept coming up with names from The Wizard of Oz, because I liked that. And my sister was just twiddling her thumbs. And my little brother was really, like, he didn't have a stutter, but he was kind of like, it took him a while to say things. And every time he would come up with a suggestion, my sister would say, she'd wait for him to take the breath, and then she'd say, how about Balky, short for balcony? And he'd say, what kind of name is that? And then he'd forget what he was going to say. He was 5. So then we'd go around again, and we'd do it, and then he'd get ready to come up with, and she'd say, how about Balky, short for balcony? And it became kind of a family classic because she was tormenting him.
Now, you were a very poor family.
Yeah, we were on welfare. I mean, there are a lot of poor families. It's just that we were in an affluent neighborhood, so people at school would say, you're poor, aren't you?
They would say that to you?
Yeah, they would. It's the thing is... Yes, I mean, kids say awful things to each other. But it was, you know, since we were in a semi-affluent neighborhood, in city anyway, you know, kids would just say, that's your only pair of pants? And I'd say, yeah. I mean, I really had to be taught, you know, people would like kind of make it a project, let's teach the Pinchots how poor they are. Because, you know, when you're little, you don't know. You're dirty, you have holes in your pants, and so do your friends. But then they change into their other clothes and you go to school.
How are you with money now? Do you buy pretty much what you want?
Well, this is the year that I have to become an adult because I've been on the show 4 years and I have made a lot of money and I don't have any of it left because You know, there's two things that can happen to you if you've been poor growing up. You can either be
Very tight.
very tight, or a complete idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've had so much fun, but I don't have any money left. And so this is the year that I have to kind of be an adult and send, like, you know, $75 worth of flowers instead of 100 or whatever it is, and just kind of, oh no, that almost went over. But yeah, this is, you know.
Now, there's another question. Go ahead.
How did you get into acting? Sorry.
Oh.
How did you get into acting, decide you wanted to do film and TV?
Well, you don't decide, first of all. That's really two questions. It's interesting. You never decide. I mean, you don't say, like, hey, I'm 15, I want to be in movies. You just say you want to be an actor, and then someone that's producing a movie says, come here, which, you know, happened to me, or whatever. But, you know,
did you ever do stage first, or?
I did stage in New York, yeah,
you did?
in 82 and 83. And then the producers of Risky Business came to see a play I was in called Poor Little Lambs. And they liked my character, and they wanted someone to play one of the sidekicks. And they just called me in, and it was like a breeze.
But
it was the first movie I ever auditioned
you
for.
had a lot of success. I mean, you went to Yale. How'd you get into Yale?
I got a scholarship just based on my grades, because I was,
Great.
you know, I had good.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah, it was nice. It was my ticket, you know, to the world.
The whole world.
Yeah, it was really incredible. But I had remembered, I had heard my mother on the phone when I was about 10, and I wished that I had, like, had more information. She was on the phone with one of her friends, and she said, you know, so-and-so's daughter just got a scholarship to college, and they don't have to pay a cent, and it's great. And how did this happen? Because she got straight A's. And I was 10. I didn't know it didn't start counting until you were, like, 15. So from the time I was 10, I got straight A's because I overheard this. And I never asked anyone. It never entered my mind. I just knew if I wanted to get out of that situation, I had to get straight A's for the rest of time. So I got straight A's for the rest of time.
Did you work through college?
No, I didn't work in college because I was doing plays. I was doing my academic load, and then I was doing plays, and I just didn't have time. So I took out, like, small loans for living expenses, which weren't much because they fed us.
Do you ever think you'll be poor again? Because my biggest fear is I'm going to wake up and be poor.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I actually could.
Yeah. They said New York at $5,000 a day, easy.
Yeah.
You know, New York at $100,000 a day, I can manage. Buy a couple of cars, and I'm broke by lunch.
Exactly.
You know?
No, I do. I worry about it. I've worried about it a lot this year because it finally became clear to me. Like, at the moment, I've just decided I was going to do this play in New York, and the play pays like a 40th of what I make on TV, and I've got all these, like, employees and mortgages and the car payment, and I'm gonna, by the time I go back to Perfect Strangers after 3 months doing this play, I'm gonna have, like, about $0 in the bank. And how did this happen?
You will have done the play.
I will have done the play.
And Fern can go to work. Does she work?
Fern?
Wasn't that the girlfriend's name?
Fern?
Fern. What's her name? What's her name?
What's her name?
What's her...
Ren.
Lynn, Fern, what is it?
Ren, not Lynn.
What?
Let me look in your ear. Ren, like the
Ren.
bird. Like the
Ren? Oh, excuse me. Ren is a wonderful name, and Fern is stupid. They're both stupid.
No, I'll tell you this.
Can Ren, excuse me, can Ren pick herself up and get a job?
I lost my keys. Oh, here they are. She works. She works, but she lives, you know, she...
Does she live with you?
No, she lives at her house and I live at my house. Although we're phasing into a thing. You know, when you said men who won't commit, I thought you were introducing me. No, I would have. No, we're like phasing in. We're doing a thing where it's like, you know, a few nights of the week at my house, a few nights of the week at her house, a few nights of the week alone.
And a few nights of the week looking for her cat. That's very sad.
She's gonna find you.
Now, let me ask you, when are you gonna be on Broadway?
I'm going to start rehearsals on Broadway.
Yeah.
Well, it's at the Circle in the Square, which is a Lort theater that's on Broadway.
Will you come back and we'll play around?
Yes, that would be fun.
Yeah.
On the show, you mean, or over?
No, on the show.
Okay.
Would you do that?
Yes, I would love to.
And please bring Fern Wren. All right?
We're gonna...
She'll be happy. We'll be right back.
Now, this is my pre-interview.